Okay, greetings everyone. Good evening. I hope everyone is well and that everyone has had a great Sunday. I am MJ, so welcome. What's up, the Gynocracy Takeover? Thanks for joining. So this evening, I want to talk about this story. It's a tragic story regarding this young woman named Lauren Smith Fields. She was found dead in her apartment, and older white man, found her dead. And when I read the story, it made me think of YouTube. It made me think of like the divestors and like the level up community, some of the talking points that they give to young women. I know those channels have a lot of young women that watch them that actually look up to them. So I figured we kind of just go over the story first, and I'm going to share what my thoughts are, and I'll drop the link if y'all want to share your thoughts on it. But I know social media is very powerful. YouTube, Instagram, I think YouTube has and Instagram have billions of people a day that use these social media platforms. So when you have people like divestors and level up, all kind of things like that, you know these young women are listening. So first, I'm going to get into this story just in case you're not familiar, but I'm going to read it and we'll go from there. So this is the young woman named Lauren Smith Fields. She's 23 and she was found dead after meeting an older man on a dating app. But her family claims the authorities did not investigate it because the older man was a nice guy. All right. So she was found unresponsive in her Bridgeport, New York home. I thought it was Bridgeport, Connecticut, but they're saying New York. So she was found dead this month in her home. And she was a beautiful young woman, right? Absolutely stunning young woman. This is so sad. And this is her with her family. So they said that the man that she was with, or that man that called in her being unresponsive, he wasn't even taken in for questioning, but he called the police. They didn't question this man at all. And they said an autopsy has been completed, but the young woman's cause of death has not yet been released by the medical examiner. Investigators are also not commenting on the case, according to Westchester News 12. Now, her family has criticized the cops, and her father says that he has paid for a second autopsy as they claim they're not getting the answers they want from authorities. The family claims her death took place under mysterious circumstances. And they say, her father says, without a doubt, we know that my daughter was not a drug user. And I had a second autopsy myself paid out of pocket because we felt so uncomfortable with the way it was handled. And that's what her father said. And her father blasted the police response in a scathing statement, claiming the family had been dealing with a very insensitive, condescending, and arrogant detective. The heartbroken dad added that he believed the family had not been given even basic courtesies by the authorities and that they were told to stop calling. And that's terrible for a family whose child was found dead and they don't even know why she's dead. That's terrible. Her mother said it's really killing her inside and that life is not the same without her. Okay. So her brother, Lakeem Jeter, has also questioned why the older white man she met on the dating app is not a target of suspicion. He says, I asked the police about the guy. He just made it seem like the guy was a nice guy, nothing to investigate. He claimed the cops. Now, if she's found in her apartment, why is he in her apartment? Well, okay, she met him on the app, okay. But why would they not question him, take him into for questioning at all to investigate him? He was the last person with her. So that's very bizarre. Now, her mother has written a letter to the police department pushing for answers on her daughter's case as local representatives speak out in support of the family. Now, Councilwoman Maria, oh Lord, I may butcher her last name, Maria Pereira, I butchered that. I'm just saying Maria P. told News 12 that the family deserved an apology after receiving no answers about the case. And that the mother sent a well-written email to her, says it was lengthy, it was extensive, it was very detailed. And I was shocked when she told me just yesterday she had not even received a response, the councilwoman said. Now, that is absolutely awful. That is beyond insensitive, especially in 2021 with everything we're dealing with globally. That's so sad. Now, her family says she was a track star at Stanford High School and was currently attending community college. She had also reportedly started her own side business to fund her education. Now, her fans left tributes on her YouTube and Instagram accounts as they mourned her loss. So some people said, so completely unfair, rest in peace, beautiful angel, you will be missed. So they left very nice messages on her social media accounts. Now, the Sun contacted the Bridgeport Police Department for comment. In a statement to News 12, the city of Bridgeport said that a review of the case is underway. The Bridgeport Police Department takes these concerns very seriously. It said the command staff of the Detective Bureau is reviewing the handling of this case to ensure that best practices were and are being followed. And it is imperative to note that the death of Lauren Smith Fields remains an ongoing investigation, the statement added. Our department extends its deepest condolences to the family of Lauren. All right. So that's what we have so far regarding this story. And I was like, wow, that's sad. So, like I said, when I first heard this story, I was like, I wonder, because I read one website, something that says she was on Bumble. And from what I understand, Bumble is a dating app where the women actually contact the men first. So to me, it seems like this young woman maybe dating older men in a way to quote unquote level up, get money and gifts, lavish gifts, or either an escort or sugar baby, whatever people want to call it, something like that. And I was like, wow, I wonder why she thought it was okay to bring this strange older man into her house. And it made me think again of the divestors and also the level up, because I noticed a lot of the divestors, like I don't know if CNG is divest. I think she is. They just make it seem like white is right, that white can do no wrong, that you don't have to worry about anything if you're dealing with a white man. And if we are familiar with Scott Peterson, Ted Bundy, the list goes on, we know that's not true, first of all. And such a huge age gap, like you dealing with a man could be your grandfather, father's age. That's kind of gross. A man in his 30s would be better suited for this young woman. Again, this is a tragic story. So I'm not trying to attack her. She is a victim, but I thought we would just explore it. So I noticed, like, I watched some level up content like Sheer 7. I haven't watched her in a while, but I remember some of her main talking points would be like lie about having children. If you have children, lie to these men about having children. Now, I think a lot of these level up content creators give a lot of bad advice. A lot of it is like scamming. A lot of it, to me, in my opinion, is unethical, immoral. It's like the way these level up women move, like they lack empathy for the men. They lack empathy for the other human beings, and I don't agree with that kind of behavior, taking advantage of someone just for your own good. You don't care who you hurt, right? I don't agree with that. So remember Shearer, teaching young women how to like get money and gifts out of men, and don't sleep with them, do this, do that. Mind you, this woman is married. She's been married for several years. She doesn't seem to have much of a social life. And I'm not shading her. I'm just saying, she's obsessed with Michael Jackson. This is who they are taking dating advice from, level up advice from, and lying about children. So you're telling me you meet a man, you and this man really hit it off well. Y'all like each other. You're going to lie about having children, and then one day, y'all get serious or he proposed, whatever, you're going to pop out with your kids. This is stupid. It's just stupid. It's stupid. And then the other lady, Michaela Pink, the woman that was talking about how she was leveled up and the men were doing this and that for her while she was using PPP loans or whatever it's called, PPP scams, to fund her quote unquote level up lifestyle. So it's so many frauds and scammers, but they're giving these impressionable young women this horrible advice, and women like probably like Lauren are utilizing their advice, trying to get money out of these dudes. Even the music, when you listen to like City Girls, a lot of our music talks about, how to get money out of men. Like, men are human beings, they do have feelings, so just scamming men for money, I'm just not with it. Whatever. I don't agree with it at all. And the sugar baby lifestyle can be dangerous. You meeting someone online, she don't know this man from Adam, as my grandma would say. You don't know this man, you just met him online. You bring him to your home. Now, I can share my screen because I did pull up her. She has a YouTube channel. She also has an Instagram account. But I noticed she had some luxury handbags. And that's another thing I noticed on Instagram. There's this trend of like hashtag black women in luxury, black girls in luxury. Like, who, no one stopped black women from ever having luxury items. So I think a lot of these luxury, these high-end lifestyles that these young women get to see on Instagram is also contributing to them or influencing them to find ways and means to get lots of money out of men. So let me hold that thought. Hey, Dale Rick Norris, it's been a minute. Good to see you. So if you're just joining, I'm just kind of discussing the tragic death of Lauren Smith Fields and how I believe that the divestment community and the level up community has blood on their hands because they give such poor, horrible advice to these young women. A lot of their viewers are young women in their 20s, just starting out, and they're telling them how to get this from a man, how to do this. Like I mentioned, Sheer 7 telling women to lie about having children. That's ridiculous. How to get this kind of gift, how to lie and tell them your car broke down, or this, lie and say you're pregnant, need abortion, all these kind of things these women are doing to just fund this lifestyle. When what's wrong with a woman making her own way, making her own money. Of course, we know men are providers, but I am not a person that agrees with just seeing a man as a wallet, not seeing him as a human being, just seeing him as a wallet or credit card. I don't treat people like that. That's not me. So I just think that they have a responsibility because a lot of these content creators are older. When you think about Sheer Seven in her 40s, Cynthia G, late 30s. I don't know about Woman Spear, Nyla. I don't know their ages. Paris Milan, I think she's young, but a lot of them always say, oh, if you divest, things will be okay because, black men they're horrible. They're the most abusive. They're dusty. They're trash bags, all these things. But yet, when stories like this happen, they're quiet. They go quiet when these things happen, when these black young women are taken out by these decrepit white men. They don't have anything to say, and they act like, to me, it comes off as white is right when we had Scott Peterson. I mean, Scott Peterson killed his wife. His wife was, what was her name? Lacey Peterson could have had that baby and the baby could have survived outside of her womb. I think she was 8 months pregnant. So this is a cold-blooded white man. But they act like these white men are just angels. They do nothing wrong. And these young women are hearing these messages and listening to them. So let me see what y'all saying. Dale says, it wouldn't surprise me if she followed those channels. We have older women telling young girls how to scam and finesse. Exactly, Dale. And I just think it's just unethical. You scamming someone like men have feelings. What happened to really just trying to get to know a man? Like, you interested in him, he interested in you. Let's get to know each other, see if there could possibly be something that we can grow. Why is it? It just seems like people all about, what can I take from you? What can they take from you? Just leaving a trail of destruction wherever they go. And I just think it's so sad how people treat each other these days. Hey, Queen of the South, good to see you. Yes, Lacey Peterson. I mean, that was cold-blooded what he did to her. That was so sad. Like, Scott, have you never heard of a divorce? You never heard of just skipping town or whatever? Like, he thought his mind, let me just take her out. That's so bizarre. So bizarre to me. Dale says, I think the youngest are probably early 30s. So they are older than a 23-year-old. Right. And like these divestors and level up gurus letting them tell it, that a lot of these brothers just will beat your ass and leave you for dead, and no other man would do that. Where I remember years ago, I saw a woman, the man took her head off on Facebook Live. Like, he was like from the Middle East. But let them tell it. It's just a blackmail issue. So Queen said she was Mexican, he was white. So I guess that's a divest story. Oh, really? Lacey was Mexican? I didn't realize that. Wow, I did not realize that at all. Excuse me. Queen says, that's the part of the whole thing I can't get with scamming men can get a woman in trouble with her life. Divesting isn't as simple as another race. It's a mindset. Divest from dust. I like that, Queen, like divest from dust. Exactly. And you made a good point when you said scamming men can get a woman in trouble with her life, because you don't know the mental health of this individual. You don't know how much rejection, a lot of childhood trauma this individual has been through. Like my friend, he has a friend, and he's a successful guy. Like, he makes over $200,000, and these women just take advantage of him. Like, he's Indian guy. He met this woman. She's Dominican. This woman be bringing her and her friends out with him. He be paying for everybody. This woman have never slept with him. She lies about having issues, so she won't have to sleep with him. Like, he likes her romantically. She knows he likes her romantically, but it's just like, I don't know if he doesn't have a backbone or what it is, but like, dude, this woman doesn't like you. So why are you allowing this woman to treat you in such a poor manner? Where is your self-dignity and respect? So I just think if someone snaps, who wants to be in their path when these men snap? They get fed up with women just taking advantage of them, or, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not about that life. I just can't be getting gifts off men that I don't like, dinners with men I don't like, just because like that's just not me. I just think when you think about universal law, I just think it's poor character to do that. Right, Queen, exactly. She said Lacey, her name was Lacey Roche. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, thank you. You always come with the cool facts. So Queen says that men think they can win a woman over and sometimes they can. Yeah, I think that's what he's trying to do. But I mean, oh girl just playing him for a fool. She's playing him for a complete fool. And this happens to him all the time. He's bought a woman a car. Like, it's just sad. And I'm gonna drop a link in case anyone wants to come up and talk about this up here. And Dale says, and here's the thing, two of these level up gurus are admitted sex workers and they have appeared on other divestment channels. Oh, really, Dale? Who are they that are sex workers? Because my thing is, y'all remember Michaela Pink? You remember the lady that got arrested? Isn't she facing Fed charges for that PPP scam? So she was telling everyone she was leveling up on a man when she was leveling up on Uncle Sam. Like these people be lying to these young women or selling their trifling courses. And that's how they level up. Yeah, Dale, you got to tell us the tea. You got to drop the tea for that. Let us know who that is. And I'm going to share her. Lauren actually had a YouTube channel. So I'm going to share that in case you all have not seen it. It just had like 3 videos on there. I said she's a very beautiful young woman. And it's just sad that, this life had to end like this for her. So unfortunate. So bear for one moment. So I'm just going to show you some of her YouTube content. So she know how to, I guess, install wigs. It's Lauren.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and I'm gonna be doing I'm gonna install this wig. So I already bleached it, the knots, and I tinted the, well, I didn't tint the hair, but I made it a little bit dark because I like darker hair. So it's like,
okay, and I just wanted to show that so you all could see that she had talent. She know how to make wigs, and I don't know how to do all this stuff, but she know how to install. It said lace frontal wig glue install, so she know how to do that. And I know there are women that pay big money to buy wigs from women. It's just sad. So let me see what y'all saying. And thank you, the sexual intellectual, for sharing my video. I definitely appreciate you. And that's Virtuous Woman TV, if y'all don't know. So I appreciate that. Bossy Empress and Nosy Hole. I don't know them, Dale. I've seen Nosy Hole's name. I see people always making videos on her. I know someone said her YouTube was terminated, but I don't know much about her content. So you saying they're sex workers. Okay. And Queen says, I don't know about Michaela. She is back on YouTube, but we don't know what happened with her. Okay, yeah, I haven't looked it up, but I imagine since it's involved with the PPP stuff, it's probably Fed charges. So women like that are giving giving advice on how to level up. You don't want to level up on trying to scam the federal government. That's not wise. And then we think about Shira 7. Shira 7's been married forever. She tells women to lie about having children. I don't know how that's going to work. What man is going to marry a woman that lied about having children when he proposes, whatever? She's like, oh, by the way, here are my kids. What? That literally makes no sense. This woman is obsessed with Michael Jackson. This woman is weird. No shade, but she's obsessed with Michael Jackson. She don't seem like she leave the house much. These are the women that these young women are listening to for a level of advice. Like, this is so ridiculous to me. It's really ridiculous to me. And then a lot of these content creators, divestors, are just projecting their pain, their frustrations, their bitterness about the mistakes that they have made. Think about Sinji. That's one of like, listen, all she does is project. So you poisoning these young women's mind, kind of like the MGTOWs and the red pillars, it'd be like 19, 20-year-old men angry. They haven't even went through anything that these 35, 40-year-old men have experienced, but they're listening to these men, absorbing all that information, and they haven't even experienced that. It's not their stuff to bear, their burdens to bear, but they act like it is. So I'm gonna share her Instagram as well so we can take a look at that. But do you all know of any other level up content creators? Because those are the main two I know. Michaela Pink, Share 7. I know when I think of divestment, I think of Sinji, Nyla, and Taz, which is very bizarre to me because I don't understand how Taz sits up there while his wife goes in on black men. I just don't understand it. But hey, what do I know? What I know. So this is the young woman's Instagram right here. Again, she's a very beautiful young woman. So it looks like she has a nice car. See the sunroof there. She had beautiful handbags. Look like, I don't know if she's on vacation or what's going on. But these look like luxurious photos to me. And I know that's big on Instagram. All black women in luxury. Black people talking about I made $300,000 in the first quarter. Those kind of things are always on Instagram. Right. So to me, it just seems like this young woman was probably an escort or whatever we call a sex worker, sugar baby. Are those the same things? I don't know if those are the same things, but Dale says angry young dudes, what are they mad about? They just hearing those men, like those men fuss and they mad, Dale says, how can a black man support aborting black boys? I don't understand that at all. And it seems like, from what I've heard, it doesn't seem like they teach these young women prevention, like how to prevent pregnancy. Let's not even have to worry about going to the abortion clinic because, a lot of women had abortions. Like, it's 40, 50-year-old women still feeling guilty and sad about the decisions they made to have abortions. Every woman cannot just have an abortion like it's nothing. Like, and the way I look at abortion, I look at it like that's a spirit that's trying to incarnate on this earth. You're the vessel this baby's coming through. I feel like I have no right to terminate. If I'm pregnant, I'm seeing the baby through. I'm seeing it through. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that personally. That's just me. And I think they should teach young women how to prevent pregnancy, how to track their ovulation, how to, how to make the man put on a condom, how to bring up, because that may be an uncomfortable topic, but what's more uncomfortable, being pregnant, going to abortion clinic, or just telling dude to wear a condom, or, that's the kind of things I think about. Hey, Rod, be good to see you. So Rod says there was a 16-year-old girl who is a Sinji follower who says she doesn't listen to black men or pick me. These content creators are poisoning you. Oh my God, that is sad, Rod. So she doesn't listen to black men, and she probably has a black father or pick me's. My Lord. They are really poisoning these young women, Rod. It's sad. And I kind of feel like they're doing it intentionally. Like they want to harm these young women on purpose because they fuck their lives up. Now, personally, I believe you could come back. We're humans. No one's perfect. We don't have all the answers. So if you make a mistake, you can learn from it. It doesn't mean the rest of your life is over. But when I look at people like Sinji, she's so bitter. I know a lot of us are not clear on if she actually gave birth to that baby or not. I think she did because you can see physical changes in her body that kind of coincide with a woman being pregnant during that time, So I think she did have the baby, and she's just so bitter. And all she does is just rant and rave and always talking about preference and trash bag all day. It's ridiculous. I don't either, Queen. I don't believe it either because I know one that's an influencer personally, and it's just they just lie. They just front on there. And I notice all of I won't say all, but do you notice how many wealthy people are on Instagram? But when you go to the Bureau of Labor Statistics to read the income data, it doesn't match up. like the average salary in the US don't match what they're saying. And Dale says, but they don't believe in taking accountability. They don't. They don't. They rather blame everybody else. Especially that woman spirit woman. Oh my God, that one right there. It's like she have a demonic spirit in her or something. Queen of the South says, I think mothers advocated for aborting black boys says more about how they feel about their children than anything else. And that's deep, Queen, because can you imagine their sons hearing a mother say to abort black boys? I just, how painful that has to be for those sons to hear that. That's so sad. That's so sad. And it's like, ma'am, you know, it takes two to have a baby, right? Make a baby. Okay, so I feel like instead of telling young women to abort black boys, because if you don't have black boys, how are we gonna have black girls? Like, it's kind of bizarre, but whatever. Just prevent pregnancy. Like the boys and the girls, the young people should learn about preventing pregnancy, contraceptive stuff like that, abstaining, whatever the case may be. They should teach that. But I don't know if they're trying to hurt the men by just going to the abortion clinic, but they still hurting themselves because you know that's a lot. That's heavy stuff right there. Queen says, I believe women should make their choices and understand the consequences. Absolutely. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that, Queen. So I just think these content creators do have a responsibility to the women that look up to them to be honest, you know, and tell them the dangers of escorting or being a sex worker, whatever you want to call it. Because from what I understand, this young woman met this older man in her apartment. And I think that was their first meeting. So that, you know, that was a not good. And obviously, with him being the last person to see her, I would assume that he did something to her, or maybe I don't know if they took some drugs. Because I know even I've read that a lot of marijuana is being laced with was it fentanyl these days? So, but her family says they know that she does not do drugs, so perhaps that's not involved. But the way that the authorities are addressing this situation is very concerning because they don't seem to be very forthright with the family. And I'm just wondering how long it takes a toxicology report to come back because, like, what happened to her? They should know what happened to her. Queen says, yes, there are many options before abortion, even though that's one. I think they're just saying it to say it. Abortions are illegal in most places by the time the sex is able to be determined. That's true. So you think they're doing it for shock value, pretty much, Queen? It's working then, if that's the case, because I was like, oh my goodness, seriously? It's like, how low can you go? Dale says the same thing happened with Mercedes Moore, and we had Cardi B trying to say that the lifestyle had nothing to do with her. I remember her. That was the white man. Oh, let me Google that one, Dale, because I remember, but I don't remember what happened to the guy. So I may Google that one. Because what did he die or was he arrested or did he kill himself, Dale? I can't remember. But that lifestyle, it seems dangerous. I just rather work a 9 to 5 than do that personally. Rod says these women aren't even talking about not sleeping with men they don't respect or think are worthy of having their kids. They're just saying aborting black male babies. So it seems like they just want to, like Queen says, for shock value, or they just want to hurt men. Because I remember, y'all remember when Cynthia G used to do this show with her sisters, and they were talking about sex, and Cynthia was talking about show us how the men send her a picture of his eggplant because it had to be big. I'm like, wow, that's kind of raunchy, you know? So they like having sex with trash bags, but they don't want the trash bag babies. Okay. Okay. I see what's going on. Well, it's working because I was so mortified when I heard that. Dale, okay, he's dead. And he killed her in her house too, didn't he? Dale, let me Google that. Mercedes Moore. I vaguely remember, but I know she was a young woman as well. Very young woman, beautiful young woman. Okay, so bear with me one moment, just pulling that story up. But do you all think social media is influencing these young women to get into this line of work? Because I noticed on social media, I think they even did a study that said it negatively impacts young people. Okay, and Dale is saying that, and if the issue of abortion pops up, it means you're not being protected, and that's an STD risk. True that, Dale. That's true. You got to consider STDs. Queen of the South says if the men would get out of their feelings, they will understand what they're saying is in no danger of happening. Okay, got you, Queen. So Queen has called it that it's just shock value. It's a talking point, baby. Maybe. Are you think they're trying to get a discussion going? Because when I hear stuff like that, it's kind of hard for me to listen to a full show. Hello, Better Future. So Better Future says, what do you think the future generation will say about the collective 50 years from now? I've heard that the past generation dropped the ball during the crack epidemic, which followed this dysfunction. That's a good question, Better Future. And I think we all should chime in on that. I hope that we can kind of course correct ourselves because we see what's happening. We see that there's a lot of bitterness on both sides, a lot of divisiveness. And I think we really need each other, at least find some kind of common ground with each other. But I'm gonna think on that some more. But let's check out this Mercedes Moore story. There's another young woman that looks like she was killed by, or what's the proper term, John? I don't know. My bad. No disrespect to the deceased. Okay, come on. They're not gonna let me see it. Gosh. Okay, hold on, y'all. Let me find another story because I think Rolling Stone wants me to pay. I remember when you could get Rolling Stone on the newsstands. I don't know if it's on the newsstands anymore. Okay. Maybe this story will be free. What do y'all think that a lot of women, young women, see men as just wallets and credit cards and not as a human being? Because sometimes I think that some women just view men as not having feelings and just try to get, men have their issues, don't get me wrong, but I like a lot of the men, a lot of them I wouldn't play with like this, personally.
That was our baby. And as many people in Houston knew her.
Goodness. Okay. So I just want to read.
Loved her. She was as sweet with them as she is with us. She took care of people.
So that's sad. But I know, like with OnlyFans, some women are making like, I think is one woman making like $1 million a month. She's making a lot of money. Some of these chicks are really getting paid. So I won't say it's easy. I imagine it's not easy work, but they probably can work on their own terms. Queen said sex work has always been dangerous. Yep, that's true. That's true. Dale says some women do and some men see women as pieces of women. That's true. That's true. Okay, so let's check this out. So this is about Mercedes Moore. So I guess her government name is Janae Gagnier. Describe her murder at the hands of what they now believe was a crazed follower. Okay, let's see. So she was an Instagram star who was known to millions as Miss Mercedes Moore. That's sad. That's so sad. So she was their oldest child. They said she was dependable, a loving big sister, a daddy's girl, and mother's best friend. So she was very attractive, as we see here. She's a very beautiful young woman. So she became famous in the entertainment industry. Her stunning and daring photos on Instagram drew hundreds of thousands of likes. That is one cool thing about social media. Like you can garner likes and followers from all over the world. Wow. So her father says that she was beautiful. He said she kept trying to get more and more beautiful. She worked on it hard. Wow. So he's never imagined he would walk into, when he arrived to his 33-year-old daughter's apartment, Wowzers. I couldn't imagine, finding your child like that. So she wasn't responding to their calls. She was dead at the bottom of the staircase. So it says that her killer was named Kevin Ocorto, 34, had a knife in his neck. He stabbed himself. He was twitching. He was gurgling. Oh my goodness. Yikes. Oh my God. He had confessions, apologies, and professed love for Janae. So she didn't even know this man? Oh my God. Lord of mercy. Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow. Whoa. He stalked her. Wow. So he must have found her government name and found her address. Said went from false accusations of HIV or COVID. Her parents say the rumors flooding the internet made it that much more difficult to mourn the loss of their daughter. Wow, so she was strangled and suffered a traumatic concussion. Wowzers. That's terrible. That's terrible. Wow. Wow. Queen says it's safer on the internet, but people still can stalk. Yeah, I see that because I see like in other sectors that I watch, like people be getting doxxed left and right, and some of the people getting doxxed are not even content creators. So some of these people know how to find people. It's scary when you think about it. Queen says that's why women used to pay pimps for protection, bail them out of jail, and it was a man that could help them with problems for other men, even though pimps abusing women. Oh wow, that makes sense. See, I that makes sense. Wow, that's why they had pimps. And Queen says part of what makes sex work so dangerous is the clientele. The men who pay for sex are often unstable. Got you, Queen. And of course, the risk. You said the risk for disease and law enforcement, all that stuff. Right, right. Wow, that's sad. That's so sad. So, because I thought I read somewhere in the article I read from the Sun, it didn't reference Bumble, but I thought I saw a story that said that Lauren had met that old white man on Bumble. So I think with Bumble, you have to swipe on the man, like the women swipe on the dudes or whatever. So with her approaching him, so she must have thought he had money, but people can portray whoever they want to online. And I really hope the authorities continue to investigate this matter because it's kind of giving me those vibes of, was it Kendrick Johnson, that story that happened in Georgia, the young man that was found rolled up in the mat at high school. Like the family had to beg because they were trying to say it was he did that to himself. Like how could he roll himself up into a mat? That makes no sense. And I saw this movie Marshall with Chadwick Boseman, and he was oh goodness, let's see, make sure y'all can hear me. Can you all still hear me? I'll make sure you guys can hear me. But yeah, he had a case. He was acting as, it was a biography of Thurgood Marshall, and there was a story about a black man was accused of raping a white woman in Connecticut. So I don't know much about Connecticut. I've never visited there. So I'm wondering, is Connecticut a racist state or Bridgeport racist? Like I'm wondering if that has anything to do with it. And I'm wondering, did this man work for, is he former law enforcement? Like, why are they just being so easy with this guy, Dale says there are, oh, thanks, Queen. Let me know. There are YouTube channels that teach you how to make fake bank statements. You can rent cars and homes. It's easy to pull the wool over someone's eyes. I believe it. I believe it. Yep. Wow, Dale. See, I didn't know they had channels that teach you that. Because I saw someone on this forum asking how to do that to make their income seem higher so they can get their dream apartment. I was like, oh my God, you're gonna set yourself up for failure, if you really can't afford something. So I'm gonna see if there's anything else I wanted to touch on with that. What do y'all? I'm curious what y'all think about this. What do y'all think about like what Shira 7 teaches women to lie about being mothers? Now I understand you don't want to bring a strange man around your kids, but let's say if it's someone you may like, I don't understand how that's going to work. Lying about kids, and all of a sudden you pop up with children. Or if you had a cesarean, you're going to have a scar, so it's going to know. Some women do have stretch marks, some don't. But I'm just wondering how, and she's never had to do that, right? Because she met her husband, but they had kids within their marriage. So I'm like, a lot of this stuff, the information they give is so stupid. Queen says that girl from Basketball Wives LA British was just arrested for fraud and scamming. She promoted a life of luxury on her IG. What? Wow. Let me search that right quick. And I'm going to drop the link again in case anyone wants to come up. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah, she was her husband's mistress. She waited a minute, too. I guess that's... Never mind. I ain't going to go there. I ain't going to go there. I'm not going to go there. Okay. Because that is a whole mess. Look, people be nosy looking into James's information, so I don't think he's that wealthy like she tried to portray. So I don't know. Sure, seems like she's going through something lately. She just don't something off with her. Okay, I found this story. I just want to check the story out. Queen mentioned. Yeah, I remember her going over her story, Queen, somewhat. I used to watch her a lot because I just found her to be funny. Dale says, and imagine someone accidentally leaving that fake bank statement around so someone can see. See? So anybody can be whoever they want to be online and making bank statements. And because I know it's on Instagram, everybody have a Chanel bag. Everyone, in the private jet, everyone's making $100,000 the first quarter of the year. Like, it kind of makes you feel inferior sometimes when you look at this stuff. Like, damn, what am I doing wrong? Because y'all killing the game. And so I can imagine for someone younger, if people like my age feel away sometimes, I can only imagine a teenager, somewhere in their 20s, seeing all this stuff. And I remember like growing up, when I was a kid, I was a young kid in the 90s. Like y'all might remember, you remember when Dooney and Burke bags used to be the ish? Like I know all the moms wanted a Dooney and Burke bag. I think those were under $200. Like now everyone has a Chanel bag. So like, okay. Sure, Jan. Dale says, and it's not going to work because the dude would leave after finding out unless she gets pregnant. He's going, right. So it's like, and my thing is, you got to think about the person who's giving you this information. She's never had to do that because she was married when she had her daughters. That's you're lying. The man's going to leave you, like you said. He's going to leave you because you're a liar. Queen says, I like Shira. She does have some shady tactics that she has shared, but overall her message is good in my eyes. And no, I don't understand how a woman could get away with lying about kids. Yeah, I like her. I like her other content better than the I guess the level up type. But I think one good message she does send is to love yourself. Take good care of yourself. That is a good message. But I think some of her things, I know she hasn't done herself. I believe, I don't know, I don't believe she's done it herself. And that, young women, because think about it, young women don't have the wisdom. Like they're trying to finesse these men in their 50s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. These men hip to stuff like that. They're not fresh. They're not a 20-something-year-old man. They have more wisdom than these young women do. So they probably going to be the ones getting finessed. Shira says, get dressed and go to good neighborhoods and run errands. Yeah, that definitely does make sense. It really does. Yep. Yeah, Queen know about it. Yep, all our moms had them Dooney and Burke bags, Coach bags, and they were just happy as could be with those bags. They really were. So I don't know. It's just like everyone wants to live this luxurious lifestyle. Nothing wrong with that, but I feel like get that lifestyle on your own merit. Don't get it from scamming people and hurting people, doing horrible things to people. I can't rock with that. And I think there's consequences for that. The Queen says a lot of folks on YouTube need to go back to school. Yeah. Have y'all been following this David Carroll? These people dragging David Carroll. Y'all familiar with that? People are something else on here. Yep. So I love that message that she gives about loving yourself, taking good care of yourself, pampering yourself, putting yourself first. Because a lot of mothers, women mothers specifically, put themselves on the back burner, wives. So you got to take good care of yourself. So, I will always give her credit for that. Because that's not a message we hear a lot. I think, especially in our community, we don't hear a lot as women to, take really good care of ourselves. And I notice a lot of women sometimes be dying before their husbands do. And Queen says, and Cher really went the distance. She got married. She wasn't just using her own man for money, even though she wouldn't have been with. She wouldn't have been right. She did. She did. I think she loves old James. I think she does. She's funny to me. And that I like that she doesn't seem to take herself seriously. Like she can have fun with the trolls. And I like how she teaches the women to write down their goals, manifesting. She called it manifestation, but write down what they want for their lives and be intentional. I love that. I think that's good stuff right there for sure. And she said, Queen said, not a lot of young women are going to want to marry a man 20 years older than her. Yeah, I don't think I could do it personally. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I don't know. I don't know if he had Jeff Bezos' money. I don't think I still could do it. I don't know. Maybe I'm no, I won't. Dale says E40 mentions Dooney and Burger. So, yep, Dale, because that was the thing back then. And even today, like Coach makes some good leather bags and they're affordable. Like you don't have to try to, that could be a car, right? A small car, a used car, $10,000 because Chanel has went up and the materials have gone down. Queen says David Carroll died with a GoFundMe and nothing worth it. Then, girl, that's crazy right there. I thought he would have had something, all this shit he talked, but they've been dragging him for Phil. I'm like, y'all is something else. Like I keep seeing this guy Kevin Smith dragging him for Phil. I don't agree with that. I mean, I didn't agree with David Carroll talking points. I haven't watched his content in years. I really forgot about him, but I think Woman Spirit, somebody else was dragging him too. But he did drag some Dave. I heard he dragged Trayvon Martin. So like, well, okay. Dale says I don't agree with David Carroll. However, I feel for his family. Yeah, it's tough to lose someone you love, especially this time of year. It really is. And Queen says Shira also transformed before our eyes. She lost weight and changed her style. She did. I think she went to a more plant-based lifestyle. So she did. And I like her because she's practical to me. Like people clown her for the Dollar Tree, but I like that she does seem genuine with that. But telling women to lie about having kids, don't do that, ladies. Don't do that. Yes, Queen. Everyone. Well, oh, hold on, I missed one. Queen says, right, everyone can just buy Chanel on Instagram. Yeah, everyone made $100,000 in the first quarter of the year. Everyone could buy Chanel. Everyone is a Delta Platinum Medallion member on Instagram. And I just be feeling bad, So I imagine young women do too. Queen says Dale David had to have his sister, a black woman, raise his money for his death. I feel bad for him. In the end, a black woman had to help David out. Damn it. He might be rolling over. Let me stop. So Dale says a good number of anti-black women and black men are going to find themselves in need, and they may find that they'll need help from the opposite gender. That is so true. That's so true. A lot of this stuff is so silly. I think David Carroll, wasn't he like a big Tommy Sotomayor supporter? I think he was. Hey, Jerome Whiteside, good to see you. Dale says, of course, it does. Okay. Yeah. So let me check out this story because Queen of the South mentioned this woman, but it says former basketball wife, LA star British Williams arrested and charged. She's pretty. I never seen Basketball Wives LA. So let's see. So it says she was charged with several federal fraud charges in St. Louis on September 22nd. A federal grand jury filed 5 felony charges for misuse of social security numbers, 4 for bank fraud, 3 false statements to the IRS, 3 for telegraph fraud, and 3 for worsening. What's worsening? See, I gotta Google it. Oh my goodness. Lord. It said, according to court records, the natives of St. Louis were arrested today and acquitted the charges in the U.S. District Court in St. Louis. Prosecutors say the British, never mind, they needed, I'm gonna let it go. Say that British used a fake social security number to obtain loans, credit lines, and other funds from financial institutions in 2017. According to 2018 and 2019 reports, the British were spending money that wasn't theirs. The prosecution alleged that she deposited 4 checks in the range of $4,500 to $5,800 in the account she managed and withdrew money before the check was returned or the financial institution realized it was fraudulent. Damn. Wow. And it says victims of checks she monetized were reportedly unaware that deposits were being made. In addition, the British falsely claimed to be dependent on their 2017-2019 tax returns and used the wrong name and social security number. Her lawyer, Jason Corner, is talking and he's standing beside her. He believes the authorities are targeting her. Jason said his client was targeted for her celebrity, and I hope it will be revealed once evidence is generated. At the moment, the time she's facing is unknown, but we will keep you updated. Okay. Wow. That's not good. If these feds are on her, then she definitely did it. And they take their time. Their investigations take time. So she did it. Okay, let me see what y'all saying. Jerome says Queen be Queen be everywhere. The Queen said, "Oh, that's kind, Queen. I appreciate that." So Queen said she had an IG boutique that was a bust. Wow. Queen says she was on couples therapy too with her ex. The reality TV money ran out. Wow. I don't know why in today's society everyone feel like they have to be luxurious. Like, what happened to the Dooney and Burke women? The Coach bags. Like, what happened to that? What's wrong with a Coach bag? I like Aldo. What's wrong with an Aldo bag? Those bags are good quality. What's wrong with that? Dale says if the feds get you, you pretty much messed up. Yep. She definitely did it. Yep. I work with a girl because, I work with a girl. I do my part for the government. And this girl, she had all these like important details on the job. One day the police came and walked this girl out of the job and handcuffed. She was stealing social security numbers and filing like fraudulent tax returns. So they be watching you and they take their time. It takes years. Like she didn't do it that year. They built a case like 2 years on her. She in prison, federal prison right now. So Jerome Whiteside said, just subscribe. I'll be over more often. Thanks, Jerome. I appreciate that. Queen said, that's why I say they need to go back to school. I would hate to be this desperate for money. Right. Because I know a lot of people like in the IT field, they can buy the Chanel bags or whatever. And even like the nurses right about now, a lot of them are making bank, people in healthcare. So there are several career paths, attorneys, all kind of stuff you can do. Look at some of the content creators on here, like the PewDiePies, Kevin Samuels, the lead attorneys. It's some kid that does tour reviews, make millions of dollars. Like there's all kind of ways to make money in an ethical manner. Queen says if they can't go back to school, they need a business that is skill based and not just based on them talking shit. Right. Because you know, the way Google, every time you turn around, Google is changing the rules. Because y'all remember like YouTube back in the day, I want to say around like, what was it, like 2008, 9, 10? People could say and do whatever on here. I think people were making a lot of money. Because I remember Lovely T, what's the guy, Phil Advice, and some other content creators, Willie D, were talking about the AdSense crisis or something. Because I think Google, YouTube, whoever it was at the time, the advertisers were not happy with, I think it was the ads showing on a specific content. They weren't happy and they wanted to pull the ads. And of course, that would mean Google would lose money. So they were like, oh, it's an ad crisis. So the way this platform evolves, you can't be too comfortable on here. And I'm going to drop a link in case anyone wants to come up and give their thoughts on this issue. Badell says, yeah, they're going to tighten up eventually. Sin and others will find their channels going. Yeah. I think those larger platforms may have Patreons. But I remember there's some like Tommy, his Patreon would get flagged. There's something else of his got flagged. I think the OnlyFans is safe, but they will flag his Patreon. Like whatever he tried to do, they were like Celie on his ass. You remember Celie said, whatever you do, he's not going, she point that finger at Mr. Yeah, Queen, they did used to advertise on any channel. Yep. And those content creators were making a lot of money too. I think they were making more money, I guess, based on that formula than they do today. So they were in a tizzy when that happened. Jerome said, yeah, those hate channels got to be out of here. Yeah, I mean, it's sad. I just don't understand how abort black males is not considered hate speech, though. Like, how's that not considered hate speech? It's a channel. The channel avatar is someone hanging. I know Dale has seen it. You know what I'm talking about. It's like someone hanging on a, what's it called, a noose or something like that. I don't know the proper term, but you know, like we look at those old films like Roots and anything based on slavery, you'll see someone hanging in a tree. There's a YouTube channel, a lady talking shit with that as her avatar. I don't watch her, but that was so disgusting. Like, how is that allowed on here? Yes, that's it. That's it. That's it, Dale. The lynching pig. Thank you. I couldn't think of the name. Yep. Yep. Divested Zella. Like, how is that not hate speech? Queen says, but they monitor everything about the LGBT community that's potentially offended. Wow. I just don't understand Google sometimes because it's like they pick and choose who they want. You know, like be fair. Be fair all around. But yeah, the main thing I want to say is that I just feel that these divestors, because I know some people are just joining, so I'm just kind of briefly restate my opinion on this matter. I think about this young woman. This is a tragic story. I'm pretty sure this young woman was heavily influenced by Instagram, because Instagram, you see everyone living luxurious lifestyle on vacations, having Chanel bags, Louis Vuitton. You know, they just living the life. It's a lot of these realtors too. I noticed they even have a real estate show on Netflix with these luxurious realtors. Yeah, whatever. But they see all this money and wealth. You have women teaching other older women now, women in their 40s, 30s, teaching young women how to scam and finesse men on YouTube. And some of these women, we can tell they don't do this in their real life. They're making up stuff because they telling women to hide their babies. You can't hide your children. You're gonna have some stretch marks. You're gonna have a cesarean scar. You can't hide that. You can't hide your children. That's stupid. You know, they're telling you how to finesse all these little schemes and things you could say, talking a baby voice, all this stuff. So, and I noticed these channels have a huge impact on these young women. Jerome says divested Zella be having like 1,000 in the chat. Damn, wow. So she has a big impact on here then. Wow. Queen says divested zealot. It's a man hanging and a white girl child swinging from the same tree. I interpret the picture different. Okay, Queen. Okay. Dale says I reported both sides of the issue, men and women alike. Yeah, it'd be a lot of cyberbullying going on here too. It'd be the doxing, all kind of crap going on here, and it goes unchecked. Queen says realtors can get paid. Yeah, they make big bucks. I guess if they sell, I guess depending on how much they sell. Dale says, I follow, however, you have to listen to her content beauty. Okay. Well, I'll be fair. I haven't listened to her content like that. So I'll have to check her out and see what she's talking about. Because I don't want to just mischaracterize her. Jerome says definitely making stuff. Yeah, and they getting these women jammed up. These women are meeting some tragic endings listening to these women. Jerome says most of these older women have never done any of that, but be preaching that to young women. Yeah. And all my life, like hearing my grandmother, my mother, I never heard nobody say, hide your children but I think that generation, like my mom's born in the 50s, my grandmother 30s, those generation of women, they actually wanted to connect with men, not just to take from them, but to actually have a relationship with them and, grow their love, whatever you want to call it, not just take. And I just think on both sides, it seems like both sides are selfish. Queen says, I don't think divested zealots channel is any more offensive than much. Okay, in that case, okay, because I have to check her out I have to check her out. I don't want to misspeak because I think maybe I saw one video. So I don't have enough intel on her. And I know everyone has their opinion, but I just think that aborting Black children, I think that's hate speech though. I don't like that at all. Dale says he finds both the manosphere and the female equivalent toxic. Yeah, you know what? I have to spend more time in the female portion, but I know like with the men, like who was it I saw? Some of the men do seem to be very toxic though. I covered on his channel, Kevin Samuels told women that they need to give up their children to have a high value man. Like, so you're supposed to just give your kids, he said, give your kids to their father to get a man. A lot like your man should be able to go through your phone at any time. He said you should have sex by the third date. Some of those things just seem silly to me. That just seems ridiculous to me. Queen says they get wild over there. I usually watch from the clouds. So I'm gonna check it out from the clouds then because I need some more intel clearly. Jerome says, Queen, nah, it's worse if the manosphere dude said that stuff. Those shots would be. Yeah, that's true though. They be tearing the men up. I do like watching like the reaction channels to different viral videos. But the thing about having sex by the third date, what if a woman is dating like several men? Is that woman body count going to be so high? Then they're going to judge her for having a high body count. So it's like, I don't agree with that. I don't understand his angle sometimes. I don't understand him at all. Yeah, the dudes are bitter. And then I see what's this guy? I was watching, they did I think it was Grandmaster Troll had recapped the Manosphere meetup. That was kind of funny. Like, yeah, Grandmaster Troll is so funny. He was going in on those dudes. He was going in on those dudes. Jerome says the Manosphere is terrible, but they don't laugh at Black deaths as much. Okay. Yeah, I know one guy, but I think he's from the Black sector. He was going in on David Carroll. Like I said, I haven't heard David Carroll content in years. I'm not gonna make fun of the man because I clicked on his last video. You can tell he was sick, and he said he had a cold. So I'm like, that's kind of sad. And I think in the environment we in right now, I don't want to be making fun of nobody, because all these different variants and stuff. This is serious stuff we dealing with. Dale said that's why I don't support Sam with this crazy. Yeah, it just seems unreasonable, you know. He doesn't consider that, Dale, because you said sex on the third date. What if you're a person of faith? Well, when the women, you know, a lot of women that call into the show have children. So he said, if you gave that man some, so you need to give a high value man some. So I don't know. I don't get it. Queen says, okay, yeah, Tommy is still here, but I noticed that Tommy doesn't seem to have the viewership he once had, you know. I don't know if they own his OnlyFans or what. Queen says, I think the hypocrisy is having a problem with the woman's response. See, Queen be getting them. I mean, the women do, you know, the women do have some valid points at times. But as Queen mentioned earlier, she, you know, thinks they said abort male children is really just a shock value. And I notice you do have to kind of use those things on here at times. Jerome said most of them dudes on third channel. That's true. Some of them on more channels than that. They channels be getting flagged down so quick. Dad, Queen said, I don't understand why some of them still have channels at all. Yeah, I don't think YouTube must not ban people at all. Cause you know, there's some social media platforms that will actually ban people. I think TikTok will ban people, but this one don't. They just what's it called? Spawn right back up like on a video game. They come right back. Dale says David Carroll's videos were toxic. I don't celebrate his death, however. Yeah. Let's call a thing a thing. He was toxic. I wonder, was he married and where did that come from? Somebody call him a fisheye fool. I should show y'all. I'm gonna show y'all right quick. Like I was like, this is a mess. He just been going in on this dude all weekend, going in on David Carroll. I think he had beef with him before. But he was going in, calling him a fisheye fool, all kind of silly stuff. Yeah, I'm just trying to find that video y'all told you about, this guy going in on David Carroll. He's just been on a David Carroll spree. I'm not gonna lie, I did laugh at the title. So I can't even lie. I laughed at the title. I'm like, y'all cold blooded. Somebody check out of here and be dragged. Okay, let's see. So this, look at this title. It said David Carroll was a fish-eyed fool.
This is gonna be a short video. I only put the video up so you can get the thumbnail of David Carroll looking like a fish-eyed fool. I remember back in 2000 and I think 14, I loaded this picture up to the internet, and I forgot where I got it from. I think somebody who knew him personally gave it to me because they was pissed off. They couldn't stand him. But that's David Carroll picture. I remember when I uploaded that video, it went like 3,000 views in 1 hour, and he flagged it down. And I uploaded a few more times, he flagged it down. But it's okay. He'll flag it down now. Why he was, David Carroll was such a punk. He would sit up here and then use other people's images while saying don't use my image. But it was a real estate student. But
yeah, I just wanted to show y'all that. Yeah, he called him a fish-eyed fool. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Like, that's terrible. Let me see what y'all saying. Queen says Kevin Samuels finally paid off his child support thanks to YouTube. Well, damn, how much child support did he owe? Didn't he just have one daughter? Good grief. That dude seemed like he getting paid on YouTube. I be seeing people giving $400 super chats. Jerome says, I think both genders have valid points. They just bash too much. Right. We both do have valid points. maybe we just don't know how to communicate effectively with each other, or maybe we're just so frustrated with each other. Because like the men's points are valid. We can't tell the men how to feel, just like the men can't tell us how we feel in our experiences. They can't deny our experiences. We can't deny their experiences. So yeah, Queen, he been going in on that dude all weekend since he found out he passed away. Queen said, just sad that he went out like that, but with his rhetoric, I'm not surprised. Yeah, and even with Herman Cain, people were making fun of him when he passed. He went to that Trump, I guess some kind of Trump thing rally or something. He got the Rona and passed, and I'm like, y'all is low down, boy. He was too old to be going to that damn thing. Don't have no mask on. Queen said somebody made a video about it on YouTube. He paid it off a couple months after he was outed as a deadbeat dad. Wow. I wonder where his daughter is. I guess I'm curious if she ever speaks about him, if they have a relationship. I hope so. Deals, yeah. Yep. All right, y'all. I don't want to hold y'all too long. I just wanted to discuss this. I just feel like these women, knowing that their viewers are young women, teenagers, 20s, they have a responsibility to guide these women in the right direction, so they need to be mindful, because sugaring, escort, whatever you want to call it, the dangers, the perils, to be real with these women, to give them good information. I think they do have a responsibility to their audience, because especially in the times we in right now, like people are really going through. A lot of people are not, we know a lot of people are already mentally unstable, but I think with this pandemonium we in, it's just heightening people's issues. So I think we should kind of deal with each other in a more loving way instead of trying to take from each other. Yeah, he did pay child support, so we got to give him credit for that. Let's clap. Kevin paid that child support. So yeah, I just hope they consider that, and stop being disingenuous and acting like white is totally white. Right, excuse me. Acting like, oh, white man, you won't have any issues. We know that's not true. And then these women 20s with men old enough to be their granddad, that's disgusting. That's absolutely disgusting. That is absolutely disgusting. And like Dale says, it's easy to end up getting trafficked. That's a horrible lifestyle. It is. It is. And I'm not trying to judge women and men in that lifestyle, but everything has its pros and cons. And with her being so young, because I remember myself at 23, I didn't know a thing. So I can only imagine, she probably didn't think anything would happen. Because obviously the man had to have done something to this young woman. It don't make sense. A healthy 23-year-old woman, then this man come over her house and now she's deceased. So we know he did something to her. It's kind of like, it's another story. It was with men though. Y'all remember it was some politician, I think in California. All the black men that come over his house end up dead. Y'all remember that? I can't think of his name right now. But and they never really would investigate this guy. So I can't remember his name. Yeah, he's a jerk. He's a jerk. But that's all I have. So if y'all have any, content ideas y'all want to discuss here, you could drop it in the comment section. Things you want to talk about. But I thought this was interesting for us to get together and discuss. And subscribe if you haven't already. Leave some feedback for me. Leave your thoughts on this topic. And y'all have a great evening. To the next one later.